Meet Christina. She once thought she could make it as a day trader, but instead she lost it all. And how much were you making as a day trader before that?
Oh, how much did I lose?
The worst part, she didn't just lose her own money.
I lost my mother's money.
Oh, wow. And how much are we talking? 6 figures?
Yeah.
Now, with 6 figures gone, will Christina find a way to rebuild, or will she remain in the shadow of this financial disaster?
Hi, Bailey. I'm Christina. I'm from Orange County, and I'm 39.
And what do you do for a living, Christina?
I'm an accountant.
You're an accountant. Okay, and how much do you make a year as an accountant right now?
45.
$45,000 as an accountant in Orange County, California?
Yes.
You're getting underpaid.
I know. I can't afford food or gas every month.
And you're a registered CPA?
No.
Or is it more like bookkeeping?
It's more like bookkeeping, yes.
Okay. And are you a salaried employee or hourly?
Salary.
So the average bookkeeper salary in California is about $65,000. This other website says 48. This other says 43 to 54. So you're definitely, another one says 67. So you're definitely underpaid if you're sitting at 40,000.
Definitely. I'm staying for job security and definitely underpaid.
How long have you been in this current role for?
I've been here for 3 years after a couple of years of searching for work, which was a nightmare. So
okay, so that's one definitely problem out the gate is income, because California is not cheap, and making $40,000 a year is not easy to live in California. Are you married?
no, I'm single.
Okay. Any children at home?
I don't have dependents, but technically my brother is ill. So he was an IT manager, but he's ill, so I'm supporting him. And I'm also paying, was technically his mortgage. But I live there, so that's fine.
Okay, you're paying his mortgage because you live with him. He's not attributing anything to the mortgage right now at all?
He can't. He's been out of work for over a year because of his health.
Okay, and he physically is unable to work at all?
Unable to work.
Are you open to sharing what the issue is or what his health issues are?
He has an enlarged heart and he's weak.
Okay, so it's just y'all two living off of your income.
Off by $20 an hour. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes it tough. Really, the first piece of advice I have is the income's got to go up to be able to sustain, because looking at your financial situation, we got a lot of debt on the table. So let's talk about a few things then. Well, let's talk about your current financial situation. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rate yourself on the financial health factor?
I rate myself at around a 3. By this stage in life, I feel that somebody should have a healthy retirement and a bigger salary. So I would say a 3. I'm doing my best to get, I literally sold blood. There are blood plasma places where they take like the water off the blood and they give like $100 a pop for that. I did that for a while until I almost fainted because they attached it incorrectly. So that was an account. I try to get as much income as I can. Just hustle.
2 people in California is not cheap. So let's talk about your current assets and debts then. Your assets first. We have value of a car, $8,000. Retirement investments, you did put $30,600 though. And savings about $15,000 in your bank account?
It's 4,000 because it was spent on the car. That's 4. The screenshot from Wells Fargo.
Okay, so you only got $4,000 in your bank account now today. Okay. And then in terms of debts, the only debt you have you put is a credit card for $400?
Ideally, but now that's his mortgage is close to $375.
Okay, well, his mortgage isn't technically, you're paying it, but that's not technically yours because you're not on the deed or on the loan or anything, correct?
You're right. Yes, you're right.
Okay, so credit card debt, are you carrying a balance on that right now?
I don't. I try to pay that off every month.
Okay, and have you ever paid interest on it?
Late fees here and there, but very rarely. I have good credit.
So we're staying out of debt. Besides looking at your credit card statement, you have paid $11 in interest this year. It's not much, but it's a little bit. So you're kind of tuning that line right there. So you have a net worth of $42,205 about. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
And have you ever calculated your net worth before?
No. It's the first time heard that.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
So looking at this, we're positive net worth, which is a step in the right direction. But to your point, being your age and where you're at, we got to make some big progress because retirement age is coming around in under 20 years.
Yeah.
you got to make a lot of progress on all this to do it. And you're trying to support your brother on top of all this, which makes things even more difficult. So let's talk about you a little bit. Did you go to college?
Yes,
Okay. And what'd you study in college?
sociology and then business.
Okay. And what led you down the bookkeeper route? Like, what has your career been like since college?
I was an account manager at the highest level of my career, and that was just not for me. I don't like managerial, having to fire people and make very, very stressful decisions. I did not like that. So I'm happy being like an accountant.
Okay. And how long have you been in the role you're in right now? You said 3 years, but how long have you been doing like bookkeeping, accountant type work?
I was a day trader before this, so this worked for 3 years.
Okay. And how much were you making as a day trader before that?
Oh, how much did I lose?
Yeah. At least you answered it correctly. I was gonna see how you answered that, but how much did you lose as a day trader then?
There were days where I made like $20,000 in 3 hours, but there were days where I lost 15 a day. And in the end, I wouldn't do that again. I would not advise that for anybody. I don't think retail wins. The MMs are ahead of the game and they know what's going to happen.
I mean, it's 90% of day traders I'm lose money within 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's some wild statistic like that.
Yes. And I studied with one of the best, and I thought that would beat the odds. Studied all the graphs, the charts. It did not.
Everyone thinks they can beat the odds, even at casinos, even in sports books, but the house always wins.
House wins, yes. It just takes, like in Las Vegas, right? They're always building it. So who's winning? The house.
So how long were you a day trader for? Because it couldn't have lasted that long.
Well, unfortunately, I lost my mother's money day trading.
Oh, wow.
So she had cancer. She left us some money, so I lost it that.
And how much are we talking? 6 figures?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
It's hard.
Learned a lesson then, I guess, a very hard lesson, that day trading is not as good as social media makes it seem, to not do it again. So what has been your investment mentality since then?
Very reluctant, extremely reluctant. I only got into that Wells Fargo account that I showed you because it's stable. It's as stable as possible. And that's it. I will never ever trade again.
Are you in your retirement account? So all of your investing right now is all in your retirement accounts. Is it a Roth IRA? Is it a 401k?
That Wells Fargo account, I believe it. I don't think it's a Roth. I think it's a straight. I'm not sure I should know this, but I guess I'm still traumatized. I think it's an ETF, whatever's a screenshots.
And so you don't know what type of investments. You said it might be in ETFs.
I think so. The banker invested it in just one at the time. No, I mean, I can look it up. I think it's an ETF.
The only thing I suggest with investing is don't do single stocks, do ETFs, do index funds, mutual funds, whatever it is, tracking an index, because it's learn the hard way. You're not Warren Buffett. It's very unlikely that there's one Warren Buffett out of however hundreds of millions of people in America. So don't think you're going to be the next Warren Buffett. And more people lose money trying to be the next Warren Buffett than people actually make money being the next Warren Buffett. So we saw that in 2021 when Warren Buffett was hoarding cash and everyone else was investing in tech stocks. And guess what? Everyone thought Warren was, okay, he's old. He's not going to outperform the market. And then literally, every tech stock under the sun that Warren warned about went down 80%. And Warren Buffett's still sitting on top these days. So
should have gone in Tesla. I saw Tesla was at 2013, $24. And I thought, they're not going to get rid of the real cars. Well, I was in Facebook at $15 when it just IPO'd, but I sold it too early.
It happens. It's hard to time, and that's why index funds are the best, because you don't have to sit here and read income statements, listen to earnings calls. You just kind of go. And I mean, if you chased Tesla back in 2021, bought it at the peak of 380, you'd be down somewhere around 45% right now on your investment if you bought it back in 2021 at the peak. So
yeah.
Yes, it's up 13,000% over the last 14 years, but how many people timed that perfectly? I don't know. A lot of people did, but a lot of people also probably bought it at the peak. So
Yep.
You win some, you lose some, but not for me. I learned it the hard way chasing tech stocks in 2021. So
you're doing well. So
I lost way too much money in single stocks, and I realized, okay, I'm not the Warren Buffett, and I'll get back to my index funds. We live and we learn. So let's talk about you real quick. I want to learn more about your upbringing and your childhood. So where are you from, and what was your childhood like growing up?
Small town. I'm from up north in Great Plant in Northern California. and then moved to Los Angeles. Got a little culture shock there because we went from country to this big city with a ton of people and the different schools. Went to a magnet school, so was quite a nerd for a while there.
And what did your parents do for a living?
My mother was a bookkeeper, and my father was an artist. They struggled. They were very happy, very loving, but the only problem that I saw was money, because artists didn't make much money. So I went to the finance. I guess I copied my mom. Now that I think about it.
And did they ever talk to you about money growing up at all?
No, I kind of taught myself. I started saving my allowances, and that's how I got my first car. I saved my $60 a month until I got my Pontiac Grand Am.
So you taught yourself about money and then wandered the way into day trading at some point, which
I thought I'd win.
Goes against everything else that you and so let's talk about that for a second. So what year was it that you lost all the money day trading?
I guess it really ended 2021.
2021 is when it happened? Okay. And so how long did that go on for? Was it 6 months, 12 months, 24 months?
2 years, 2019 to 2021.
Okay. So were you living off of that inheritance too, and while trading the rest of it basically? So it was going down both from poor investments and from living. Okay.
That's true. Yes.
Which makes it get depleted even faster. So, okay. So let's talk about the now then. So let's talk about your current budgeting process. What does your budgeting process look like on a month-to-month basis right now?
I wish I could say there's a budgeting, but basically, right when it comes in, it's out. Does it go straight to housing, go straight to insurances, go straight to the HOA, and there's no money for food or gas or other.
So you don't track. You don't know how much money you spent on food last month. You don't know how much money you spent on gas. You don't track any of those things.
I kind of track it, but to me, it's a little depressing because it's always a red. It's always a red. So it's always the withdrawal from the savings. I guess that's why I don't really pen and paper track it, because I don't like being reminded of it. I don't like being reminded of what happened.
So not ignoring your situation, not tracking it, do you think that is helping it, or do you think it's hurting your current situation?
Well, I'm doing everything I can. I mean, I don't know any other person who has sold as much as I do. You name it, I've done it. I've done focus groups. I've sold blood. I've been a backstage actress. I've done plus size modeling. I'm doing so many things.
But if you're not tracking what's going out, and you're just knowing, okay, what comes in is going to be going out, then doesn't that put you at a disadvantage because you don't know how much money you might spend $100 more one month than you thought last month, and then if you might have overspent on food, you might have overspent on clothing, and if you overspend $100 a month for 12 months, it's $1,200. And so my point is, if you don't measure stuff, it's very hard to improve it. It's very hard to understand where your baseline is and how you can get somewhere else. You're kind of wandering aimlessly through a forest with no direction, no path to follow. And so that's what a budget is okay, this is the path you're supposed to be following. And yes, you might have some months that you miss it. You might have some months, whatever. And like in your situation, if the expenses are more than the income, then hey, that's an income problem. But even if you start making more money, say you got a paycheck, start getting a paycheck for $1,000 more tomorrow a month. The issue is if you don't track it, that money's going to go and disappear just as quickly as you thought. Because like, okay, I got a pay raise. Now I can go afford this, or I can go out to eat to dinner one more night a week.
Oh, I think you helped me touch on something, Bailey. I'm such a spendthrift that I don't want to be, but I guess I don't track it because it's really nothing to track. I mean, I'm like eating ramen and tuna cans and the gas. I can't have a budget because I have to drive to work. And it is what it is. And the insurance, it is what it is. So the only thing I really have a budget for is like food. But if anything, I eat like once a day. So I guess there's no need for a budget because I'm spending the most minimum possible that I can. I try to save as much as I can. I don't splurge, unfortunately.
And I'm not saying splurging, but I'm saying if you don't track, then you're not going to know and understand where your expenses are. And it might just be the food category. It might be shopping, but like that's some stuff we'll look at your documents and see. But you still have to track it. For example, Tom Brady didn't become an NFL player because he didn't track. I guarantee every single day he tracks his macros, his protein intake, his workouts. Like every single professional athlete does it. Warren Buffett tracks everything. Like people don't just wallets into wealth. And if you don't have a plan, then it's very difficult to figure out how can you kind of improve.
You're so right. I know.
Whether you're making $1, you're making $1 million a month. If you don't have a plan, the money is just going to disappear. It's going to go places you don't mean for it to go. And so I think everyone needs a budget. Like 49% of Americans making over $100,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. And that's because they have no plan. They have no budget. And a majority of Americans also don't budget. So you could get a lot of people get pay raises and then the money disappears because they don't track it. So my point to you is like, you have to still track. Yes, there might not be anything left over at the end of the month, but you still need to know how much money's going. So when you go to the grocery store, you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this or that. You really need it. You truly need it. Or you go shopping, whatever it is. It's just very important. You have to do. And that's one thing I would suggest. And I can promise you, it might not be $1,000 you find a month, but it might be $20 that you need to cut. You can realize you can cut back. It might be $25 and that can go a long way. So.
Totally agree with you. So I think in a way, when I get that credit card statement, I'm totaling like food, gas, and whatever else, insurance bills. You're saying I should probably put that in a spreadsheet and track that and see what the monthly is. And
yeah, put in a spreadsheet. I use a tool called Copilot, and it's $100 a year, but which it helps me find more than $100 that I'm overspending in certain categories, and it categorizes everything, and it's phenomenal. I have a link that gets 2 months free as well, so people can try it out. But like that, or spreadsheets are fine too. I mean, you can build a simple spreadsheet. There's free templates online. It's just a matter of manually inputting that. I like to not manually input it, so I have used a tool, but having a spreadsheet so you can sit there and look at how much do you spend every single month will only help you look back and make decisions moving forward and have a baseline and understand how you can change some things.
yes.
And account for things when you have a new insurance bill coming up, or you have to like figure out, you have to get to a spot where you can save money, because if a tire goes out in your car or your engine has problems or needs maintenance, a new car battery, like those things happen, you have to make sure that you're saving money for those types of emergencies too. So
I need to get better at that. I need to do that.
So that's definitely one thing. Like if you're not tracking, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't track your expenses, you're only hurting yourself by not tracking it, because money will fly out quicker. So let's look at your monthly budget on that note. So your gross income, about $3,300. You said your take home is about $2,800 a month, and out the gates, you're covering your brother's mortgage is $2,600 a month.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So each month, the rest of the expenses come out of savings, or some gigs here and there, but the gigs never cover what's needed every month.
How much would you say you're bringing in a month from different gigs?
On average, probably on good months, like 150 a month.
Only 150 a month?
Boom.
And how many hours a week are you working at your full-time job?
A regular 40.
40? Okay. So if you're only making $100, $150 on side gigs, I mean, you're better off going to be a waitress at night a couple nights a week, or getting a weekend job to make even $20 or $15 an hour at a retail store, because that's 10 hours worth of work over a course of a month. I mean, if you work 5 hours or 10 hours a weekend for every weekend, I mean, it's 40 hours, it's another $600 a month in income if you do that at $15 an hour.
Yeah.
But that's definitely the issue right now, is your housing is basically how much money you're making. And so you put the mortgage $2,600, your home utilities $125, and auto and transport, you have your car insurance at $120, your gas at $320. How much are you driving a day?
I don't know, quite a bit. 20 minutes on the freeway. So that is probably 60 miles. 60 miles.
And what kind of vehicle do you have?
I have a 2016 Mercedes. 2006. That's why I wish it was 2016. 2006.
2006. Okay. Groceries, you put $400 a month. Subscriptions, $125. What are the subscriptions?
That's probably part of the insurance and the cable.
Okay. If you have unneeded subscriptions, you need to be canceling those. If you have multiple streaming services, pick one, choose it, run with it.
Oh, I don't have any.
Okay. Good. Eating out 100, personal care 50. So your total fund money is $275, and that puts your total living expenses at $3,840, which is a lot. It's $1,000 more a month than what you're bringing in. So really, the main problem is income, and so there's 3 routes with income that you can go. Number one is you start hustling and finding a new job, a new employer that can pay you some of these living wages or average wages in California that seem to be between $50,000 and $60,000 a year for someone in a bookkeeper type role. So that would bring in an additional $10,000 to $20,000 a year, which would help you get to a baseline of breaking even and having some if you're on the top end of that budget or of that salary range. Number two, if you were to stick in your current job, which you said you're doing for job security, is job security where you can't pay your bills better, or is a different job that's a little bit different better? I don't know. That's for you to decide. I can't decide that for you. I don't know job market out there in California. I know the job market in the world is getting tougher. But if you want to stay at the current job, that's fine. But then you got to picking up a second part-time job, and whether that's freelancing for clients and you're charging $20 an hour, you book up a little side business that you're doing on nights and weekends when you get home from work at 6 o'clock, and you have clients that you can do that, or you find people that need a fractional bookkeeper, small businesses in the local area, start knocking on doors, retail shops, like, hey, I'm a bookkeeper, I can help you, and this is my rate. But, or it's on weekends, you're finding a job in a retail shop or something, but you need to bring in at least another $1,000 a month, if not $2,000. And so that is definitely something you have to be doing. If you're not going to find a new full-time job that's paying you more, it needs to be, okay, great, we're going to hustle during the 9 to 5, get my work done. But when I come home, I'm going to go work from 6 to 9 o'clock, freelancing for companies, whether remotely, finding part-time fractional work as a bookkeeper, or, hey, let's find a retail shop, store, something that can give me a few hours that is on my way home from work. Don't go drive 2 hours out of your way to go work for a retail shop, but
Yeah, like yes, yeah.
in your general area vicinity, doing that, working in a restaurant, something. But like, and whether that's 3 nights a week, 2 nights a week, I don't know. I don't really care. Just, it's got to be something, and that's got to be bringing in an extra $1,000 a month. And I don't know if I would suggest DoorDash, and you can't Uber with your age of your car, I don't think. So like DoorDash, I don't know if I would suggest, because you have an older car. I don't think you want to be putting more miles on it.
I think you're right about the bookkeeping gigs.
Yeah, I mean, the bookkeeping side gigs, finding businesses you can work with, local businesses, online. I mean, there's plenty of companies. Every single company in the world needs bookkeepers. I mean, they need financial people to help them do their books. And so you need to be doing that and driving additional income. I mean, I work with a bookkeeper for my own business, and she has, I don't know, 40 or 50 clients a month, and she cranks it out, gets them done, and she doesn't work 2 hours. She'll work nights, weekends, whatever. But like, she has just a ton of different clients that she's helping at different times of the day.
That's a good one. Yes.
And you can charge more. I mean, bookkeepers can charge. I mean, I think if you're freelance, you can be charging anywhere from $30 to $60 an hour, and you bill on an hourly rate or a monthly rate. But there's definitely, you can be making more than $20 an hour as a bookkeeper. I know, because I pay more than $20 an hour, and she's not based in California.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. And then your brother's situation, I don't know if there's any world or reality that he can get a part-time job. Like, is that even feasible at all? And he has no income, no assets, anything to contribute to anything?
No.
Okay. Do you know what the mortgage rate on the house is?
5.25.
Okay. And when did he buy that house?
That was 2022.
Okay. And what did he buy it for?
$375.
And do you know how much is left on the mortgage right now? Is it like probably $350, $360? It's probably not much.
I have no idea, but I imagine it couldn't be that.
Yeah, it couldn't have moved. Well, it couldn't have moved much. If you buy it for $375, I mean, I can't imagine it's gone, like, the amortization schedule, it's probably gone down 10 or 20 grand max. Okay. How did he buy it if he wasn't working?
He was working before. He was an IT manager.
Okay. And this is all like a medical condition that's unraveled the last 2 years that has forced him to stop working?
Well, he's had it for a while, but it's gone that bad that he's been weak.
Is he able to move or walk at home, or is he like on bed rest, or?
He's able to thankfully move, but not much.
Not enough? Okay. Because I was going to say, if there's anywhere that he could be generating $500 a month in income, whether it's an online remote customer support role or something that could help, I mean, that would go a long way.
Yeah, it's not an option. I wish I could say it is, really. It's not an option.
Do y'all have any other family? It sounds like, I guess, both your parents have passed away. What happened with his portion of the inheritance?
Lost.
He lost it too? Day trading? Were y'all in the same damn day trading group?
Yes, freaking A. Yeah.
What was the total loss between both of y'all?
Yeah, his was 150. So the total, I would say like 450.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that would be coming in very handy right now.
Yeah, this is very serious, especially right now. Look, I should have a better phone. Look.
So yeah, I guess that's definitely a tough thing. How many bedrooms are in the house? Only one bedroom. So it's a condo, 1-bedroom condo. I was gonna say rent out a room, but that's obviously not a possibility there. Okay.
I think you hit it on the nail there. The market the bookkeeping, the private companies, market it online. I saw a little commercial on YouTube.
Start posting on Facebook. You don't need to, don't go pay ads for stuff. Start posting on Facebook. There's local businesses you might be friends with. Go knock on doors, find emails, call companies. Go on places like Upwork that hire freelancers. Find freelancing places that you can do it. There's plenty of things you can do that.
I'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Let's talk about your expenses though the last month. So you sent me this statement, and we have on here Target for $79 and Target for $43 on, this was back in May 29th. What did you buy for that?
Necessities, household supplies, shampoo and all that.
$120 worth?
And then make sure it's all on sale. Like when it's a really good sale.
There's not like $10 or $20 worth of stuff in there that wasn't necessities?
Oh, I'm very, very frugal.
What about Sake to me sushi for $94 on May 31st?
Oh, that's from my brother. That's his favorite food. So I got him his sushi.
But if this is what I'm talking about in terms of budget, is like when you have a $1,000 deficit right now from income versus expenses, there is no justification for spending $100 on sushi in one night. I mean, you said that, hey, I'm sitting here eating ramen noodles, but then we turn around and spend $94 on sushi. And that's just not a smart thing to do at all.
I know.
And the next day you spent $80 at Del Mar convenience store. You spent $80 there.
Oh, that's gas.
That's gas? Okay.
That's gas, yeah.
And then we've got Kaiser, you spent $20. And then we've got Arco Foods, which I guess is your grocery store.
Grocery store.
So that's $80. These are the only transactions I have here. I don't think I have any transactions on your bank statements.
Wait, I don't spend much.
But you say you don't spend much, but then the first transaction I see is Sake to sushi. So my point is, if you're not budgeting, there's multiple transactions like that. Maybe you don't go buy $100 sushi, but you go to a local Mexican restaurant or whatever and get sandwiches or burritos or tacos for $10 each. Like, these are things that you have to do, and you have to decide what's more important. Is it your brother having his favorite sushi in the world, or is it y'all not losing your house and going into foreclosure because you can't afford your mortgage? Because right now with $4,000 your bank account, you got 4 months before that depletes. And guess what? Then they're going to come knocking on the door when you miss your mortgage payment. And what do you do in that situation? So that's why you have to start making decisions now. Hey, what's more important?
I'm going to hustle. I'm going to keep hustling.
It's not just hustling. Well, it is hustling for the income side, but the expense side is just being smart.
Super strict. Yes. Yeah.
Strict and smart. Okay. I mean, it all comes down to a few things. Budgeting is the most important. Track every single expense in and out. Number 2 is income. You got to get a new job that's paying you more, or a side job that you're doing online bookkeeping for companies. You are going to a retail shop, a restaurant. I don't care what it is, but bringing an extra $100 or an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month is absolutely required. Otherwise, you're going to be in a horrible spot 4 to 6 months from now with your housing situation, missing mortgage payments and everything. So your timer's on right now, and you have to really do that. And I think the bookkeeping, if you're a full-time bookkeeper, you're doing it for years, let's get after it and find clients, knocking on doors, calling people, emailing people, post on Facebook, Instagram, wherever it is, sliding message people. You're going to have to reach out to hundreds of people to find a couple clients. But guess what? That's the situation you're going to have to be in right now, is cold calling and calling people to do it. You're not at the mercy of having time on your side right now. And then after that is, once you get that, I mean, you got to build up an emergency fund back up. Once you are cash flow positive, build up an emergency fund and then start investing for retirement. Because right now, if you have $30,000 in your retirement account, the last like pulling from retirement is not an option right now. I don't want you to ever put that on the table. I don't want you to withdraw from it. I don't want you to even touch it ever. You cannot afford to do that, because then you will have no money for retirement. And right now, if you don't contribute another dime to your retirement account at a 7% rate of return, you're going to have $100,000 when you're 67 years old. And $100,000 is not enough to live off.
That's not enough.
And so that is why it's very important. You have to start increasing your income, living below your means, and investing the difference, because you have to start investing hard now, because time is not on your side. If you're 22 years old, 23, I mean, you got an extra 20, you'd have an extra 20 years. But right now, you only have 20 years left, and time is of the essence to start making these decisions, doing it. So you've got to get a new job, got to get your income up, and then start saving and investing for the future. Because especially if you're going to continue to work and help your brother, then you're going to have both of you to take care of. And retirement's not, $100,000 retirement is not going to feed 2 people. You're going to be working until you're 90 years old at that rate. So I have 2 questions for you. One, are you contributing anything to your retirement accounts right now?
Not right now, no.
Okay. So you need to look into that, see where your employer match is. Obviously, you can't contribute if you're not even cash flowing at all right now. But once you do, you need to be contributing and at least get your match for your retirement accounts. And 2, if your brother's unable to work, does he qualify for any disability or any of that?
They won't because they said that he can get a desk job even though he can't. So he gets food stamps and Medi-Cal
What's their reasoning that he can get a desk job, but his reasoning is that he can't?
because he's weak. He's not alert and he's weak.
Well, I guess, like, can you contest that? Because, like, if he truly can't get a desk job and they're not allowing it, then can you appeal that? And yeah,
It's a system, you know, how they don't want to approve as much people as possible. So it's one of those, I feel.
wait, I don't know how to help you on your brother's side. Besides, obviously, he's family, take care of him, but that means that you have to step up, that you have to start being smarter about where your money's going, and the income side it falls solely on you to pick up the slack since there is no income coming from his side, and so that means more hours of work. You're not gonna be working. You can't be working 40 hours a week. You gotta be working 50, 60 hours a week, and drive more income in. It's going to come on you working extra 5, 10, 20 hours a week to bring your income up. So, Christina, I guess the last question for you, what is one piece of advice you'd give to someone in a similar situation as you?
Never day trade. Save your money, put it somewhere stable. Day trading is not for retailers. We never win.
I fully agree with that